What if I told you one of India's most feared bandits once walked into parliament wearing a sari instead of carrying a rifle? A woman whose name once terrified entire villages later became a leader chosen by the people themselves. But the real mystery is this: how did a poor village girl become both a hunted outlaw and a powerful politician? And why are some of the darkest chapters of her life almost never discussed on YouTube? This is not just the story of revenge. This is the story of survival, power, betrayal, and transformation. Long before the world called her the Bandit Queen, Phoolan Devi was born into a poor family in rural India. From childhood, she faced humiliation and violence. But one rarely discussed fact is that even as a young girl, she openly challenged powerful men in her village over land disputes. In a society where girls were expected to stay silent, Phoolan spoke back, and that made many people hate her from the beginning. At a very young age, she was forced into marriage with a much older man. Most videos mention this briefly, but few explain how badly this affected her mind. She reportedly escaped multiple times and returned to her village, only to be rejected and insulted by society again and again. She was treated like a burden everywhere she went. Then came the moment that changed her life forever. She was kidnapped by bandits operating in the ravines near the Chumble jungles. But something unusual happened there. One gang member reportedly protected her from the others and taught her how to survive in the dangerous world of outlaws. For the first time in her life, she had someone treating her like a human being instead of property. But peace never lasted long around Phoolan Devi. After brutal gang rivalries and betrayals, she became involved in one of the most controversial revenge stories in Indian history. The world knows about the massacre linked to her name, but what many people don't discuss is how newspapers and politicians add. The time turned her into almost a mythical figure. Some saw her as a criminal. Others secretly viewed her as a symbol of revenge against oppression. And then came the surrender. Thousands gathered to witness it. Cameras flashed everywhere. But here's the strange part many documentaries ignore. Phoolan Devi negotiated her surrender like a political leader, not a defeated criminal. She demanded conditions before giving herself up. She reportedly wanted guarantees about her treatment, safety, and even prison conditions. That level of influence shocked the entire country. She spent years in prison without trial. Think about that for a moment. A woman accused in one of India's biggest crimes, sitting in jail for years before the courts even reached a final conclusion. During this time, her image outside prison kept growing. Songs were written about her. Villagers whispered stories about her courage. Some feared her, some worshipped her. Then came the most unbelievable transformation of all. After her release, Phoolan Devi entered politics. Imagine the shock across India. A former outlaw now asking people for votes. And somehow, people voted for her. Not once, but multiple times. Many poor communities believed she understood their pain because she had lived through suffering herself. One rarely discussed event from her political life happened when she openly criticized powerful figures despite threats to her own safety. Even inside politics, she remained fearless. The same woman who once survived the jungles now faced a different battlefield: power, corruption, and public judgment. But her past never truly left her. On July 25, 2001, outside her home in New Delhi, Phoolan Devi was assassinated in broad daylight. The woman who survived violence, prisons, and gang wars was finally killed after becoming a politician. And maybe that's why her story still feels unreal. Was she a villain? A victim? A rebel? Or simply a woman created by the cruelty of the world around her? Even today, people still argue over her legacy. But one thing is certain: no one else in modern Indian history transformed from feared outlaw to elected leader quite like Phoolan Devi. And perhaps the scariest part of her story is this: society first created her pain, then feared the person she became because of it. If you enjoyed this untold story and want more dark, mysterious, and hidden histories that most channels never discuss, then subscribe now, like this video, and comment below. Bandit Queen, So I know you want a part 2 about the secrets and controversies surrounding Phoolan Devi's assassination.